All right, here with boxing legend and former world champion Barry Michael. Barry, a big fight for Australian boxing this weekend. Errol Spence versus Tim Tszyu, mate. Just your overall thoughts on this fight, Barry.
Well, great to see Timmy Tszyu and Errol Spence, getting it on together in Australia. Errol Spence has certainly been a great fighter. Been out of the ring for, I think it's about 3.5 years, and had a couple of unfortunate things, a bad car accident, a serious beating of Terence Crawford. And this is basically, to me, it's a comeback fight for him. Timmy Tszyu's been active. He's had a couple of victories after his couple of disastrous losses to Sebastian Fundora and to Bakram Murtalazaev, which I think was, the worst one, of course. And Timmy's had, but at least Timmy's been active. And look, it's a big international fight. As I said, Errol Spence was champion for a long time until he fought the great Terence Crawford, who's now going to be recognised as one of the greatest in history. So, no disgrace to lose to him. I think it's going to be a war. And I think, well, whoever loses has got to retire. That's for sure. It's over. And I really fancy Timmy Tszyu to do the business here. I think Jeff Fenech, a lot of documentation, commentary about whether he's the right person or not. A lot of boxing is not only physical, it's mental. And, Timmy's basically been saying that he hasn't been in the right mental, frame of mind for the last few years. And Jeff certainly appears to have got him into the right mental frame and got him in great physical condition. Whether he can change him technically, he has said that he's training, he's been working on hit and move, is yet to be seen, because Timmy has shown that he's hittable and can be hurt, and especially the Bakram Murtalazaev fight, which when you got a fight like the Bakram Murtalazaev thing, they can quite often be career-ending fights. So it's going to be really interesting. But I fancy Timmy Tszyu to win by knockout, to be honest. Either way, I don't reckon it goes beyond 5 rounds.
Yeah, right. What does Tim, in your eyes, need to do to get that win, Barry? How does he sort of approach this fight?
Well, he's fighting a southpaw, and his record's not, I suppose. Fundura's a freak. He's a 6'5.5" southpaw, 11 stone, 69.5. It's crazy. Fundura, Errol Spence is about the same size as Timmy, same height. He's a southpaw. I don't think he's anywhere near as fast as Fundura. He's a big puncher, but is he still the puncher he was after 3.5 years out of the ring? Is a serious comeback. And 6 months out of the ring can be enough to damage your timing and your ability and your mental part of it as well. I really think that the odds are pretty even at the moment. Basically, looking at the different betting agencies. But I just think Timmy or Errol Spence, I think, was favourite. I think that'll change. I think Timmy will go in the fight in the ring by the time they get in the ring as favourite, and I think he should be. But look, it's going to be really interesting because, as I said, whoever loses this fight undoubtedly retires, and whoever wins it has got another big payday in front of him. And whether he can climb that mountain to another level is yet to be seen.
What do you reckon's the bigger impact in this fight? Is it the layoff from Spence and the 3 years off and that ring rust, or is it the damage Tim Tszyu has taken in those Fundora and those Bakram fights?
Jai, I think it's a combination of all the above, to be honest. And when you look at the two of them, they both, copped serious punishment to their heads and bodies. I don't know if you saw the car smash that Errol Spence was in. He was. I think he had a detached retina. He had multiple scars of cuts all over his face. It was a serious, and that's got to rattle your brain seriously. And hasn't fought since. Then he fought Terence Crawford, didn't he? And got splattered. But, since then hasn't fought. And we're talking 3 years or over 3 years. It's just too long for my money. That's why I fancy Tim Tszyu. Activity, he's had 2 10-round fights, 2 wins since his terrible loss to Fundura. And he looked looked pretty good. He didn't look exhilarating. I won't say that. And he didn't smash them, but they were both pretty reasonable opponents with good records, durable. So Tim's got the rounds under his belt. And I reckon that's going to be the most important thing, especially, look, I really don't think it'll go far. 5-6 rounds maximum, I reckon. Someone's going to go for sure. And I think it'll be Errol Spence. I think he'll get caught, and Timmy can punch.
Yeah. So you're expecting Tim Tszyu to come out fast in this fight?
Well, he keeps saying it. I mean, I think he's emphasised that he's going to do that, but coming out fast and just being careless is one thing, but coming out fast and putting the pressure on and making your opponent lead and sidestepping him, that's what I think Timmy can do. Errol Spence is nowhere near as tall as Sebastian Fundora. Timmy can walk out, step to the left. Look, to be honest with you, I know he chose Jeff, to train him, and, Jeff will get him in amazing physical condition, but he should have brought his father out, Kostya Tszyu, the greatest exponent of how to fight a southpaw I've ever seen. Look what he did to, what's his name, KO'd in 2 rounds, Zab Judah. And Shamba Mitchell, another really good southpaw, smashed him. Kostya was when you fight a southpaw, I used to hate him early doors, to be honest. And, I think I knocked out the last 5 I fought, I think. But I lost to a couple early in the amateurs and early in my pro career. But you got to learn how to fight them. And, as a southpaw jabs, the way Kostya would do it, he'd just move to his head to the left a little bit and throw the right hand straight down the middle, flush on the chin, then come over with a left hook or left rip. And that's what he should do against Errol Spence. And I reckon he will. I reckon Timmy will. I mean, the first fight with Fundora, even with the cut eye, it was extremely close. And there were times and Fundora showed me incredible toughness, but then Brian Mendoza did knock him out cold, who Timmy beat. So, look, Timmy wins this fight, and hopefully he can have another shot at the elite level and make some really, really big money.
Obviously, Tim's team in those losses come under a lot of criticism. Is there much or any pressure on Jeff Fenech as the trainer in this fight?
Sort of yes and no. I mean, obviously, Timmy, wanted Jeff to train him, and it's worked out. It's appearing they're all getting along terrifically well. But if Timmy loses, you can't blame Jeff, can you? It's Jeff will be certainly giving it 110%. And I spoke to him yesterday or the day before and wished him all the best. And I'm sure Jeff's got his head in the right place, and which is such an important thing. But when you get hit on the chin cleanly by a big puncher, all that can change dramatically. And has anyone lost their resistance a little bit from the damage? I mean, the Backroom loss when they fought Backroom out of the blue. I basically knew what was going to happen because Backroom murdered Lazaev. I think he would at this stage murder Errol Spence. Yeah.
All right, so official prediction, Baz. Yeah.
Well, I reckon Timmy Tszyu within 5 or 6. Yeah. I don't see it going the full distance, and I think Timmy Tszyu is the winner.
There we go.
For the sake of Australian boxing and Tim's career, and the fact that Errol Spence has come out here has been one of the greats. But I just think it's Timmy's time. He's younger, he's fresher, I think Tim will win.
Beauty. All right, Baz, we might leave it there on this one, and we'll catch up after the fight and get your reaction to the result as well.
Cheers, Jai. I won't be there. I haven't got a gig with Foxtel, and no one's invited me up, so I'm a bit spewing on it, to be honest, that I've been axed from basically the commentary. I haven't had a gig for quite a while. I don't know what the politics is going on there, but I think Danny Green's doing it, isn't he, with Ben Damon?
Yep.
And Sean Porter.
Yep.
And Paulie Malignaggi. I think, I'm not 100% sure, to be honest, but I would love to be there, and I would love to be commentating it. And so many people say to me, why aren't you commentating? What's going on? To say, well, everyone I speak to passes the buck. Yes. That's life, isn't it?
That's life. All right. Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll catch up soon.
Okay, Jai. Cheers, mate.
Appreciate it.